The Crown, the Vatican, and corporate governance, a critical examination of sovereignty and control. Understanding the Crown, misconceptions and legal reality. Contrary to conventional belief, the term the Crown does not refer to the British monarch in her role as head of state for the United Kingdom, Canada, or other Commonwealth nations. Rather, this critique asserts that the Crown operates as a corporate entity under the control of the Vatican, with its roots in ecclesiastical authority rather than national sovereignty. Following the marriage of Queen Victoria to Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, a Roman Catholic of German descent, the Protestant monarchy is said to have been compromised, violating the Act of Settlement of 1701, which prohibits monarchs from marrying Catholics. This act, according to the argument presented, allowed Pope Pius IX to assume effective control over the British monarchy and the Bank of England. The transformation of financial institutions into crown corporations. On January 1, 1855, the Bank of England was reportedly converted into a crown corporation, formally becoming the City of London Corporation, a financial and legal district distinct from the UK itself. This corporation is identified here as a Vatican-controlled financial entity, operating independently of the British Parliament. Similar claims are made regarding the Bank of Canada, 1938, the Federal Reserve in the United States, 1913, and the incorporation of the District of Columbia, 1871, as part of a corporate framework allegedly tied to Vatican interests. According to this view, these institutions function not as national banks but as global financial instruments of the papacy. Allegiance and treason, the legal implications of service to the Crown. According to Canadian law under Section 46 of the Criminal Code, treason includes aiding a foreign power or acting against Canada's sovereign interests. The argument made here is that public officials, including members of the Canadian Forces, RCMP, and judicial officers, have unknowingly sworn allegiance to a foreign head of state, the Pope, under the misapprehension that they serve the Queen or Parliament. Furthermore, under the Crown Liability and Proceedings Act, any member of the Canadian Forces or RCMP is considered a servant of the Crown, thereby reinforcing the argument that their true allegiance is to the Vatican's corporate structure, not to the Canadian populace or constitutional law. Redefining the Crown, from monarchy to corporate ecclesiastical entity. The text argues that the modern Crown is not a continuation of Anglo-Saxon Protestant monarchy, but rather a rebranded ecclesiastical authority, a papal construct used to impose control through the legal system and financial institutions. This system is referred to as a color of law regime, meaning it resembles lawful authority but lacks legitimate constitutional foundation. Institutions such as the Secret Service, MI5, MI6, CIA, IRS, and DHS are included in the list of entities allegedly serving papal interests, rather than sovereign national governance. Historical background, the First Reich and the Jesuit financial system. This framework traces the Vatican's influence to the First Reich, and asserts that the Jesuits, allegedly successors of the Knights Templar, formed a religious political network focused on acquiring global wealth. The City of London Corporation, along with its international counterparts, is presented as the Vatican's principal mechanism for accumulating wealth through taxation, legal fiction, and debt instruments. The assertion continues that the Crown corporations operate under a latifundia model, a feudal system of land control and servitude, reframed in modern law and banking systems. Legal arguments for treason and high treason in Canada. Under Section 46 of the Canadian Criminal Code, individuals who serve foreign powers or levy war against Canada may be prosecuted for high treason. The document suggests that Canadians who participate in state or military institutions that ultimately serve a foreign ecclesiastical power meet this legal definition. Specific reference is made to oaths of allegiance, which though often made to the Queen, are viewed as legal pretexts for serving the Vatican's interests, thus creating a conflict of loyalty under Canadian law. Monetary policy and sovereign control. He who controls the money supply of a nation controls the nation, a quote often attributed to President James A. Garfield, serves as a thematic anchor in this analysis. The central claim is that the Vatican's control of global finance, beginning with the conversion of the Bank of England into a Crown Corporation in 1855, has enabled it to exercise quiet yet decisive authority over the governance of the UK, Canada, and the United States. This extends to modern taxation systems and legal proceedings, which are described as being conducted under the false pretense of national sovereignty, when in reality they serve a centralized corporate power. Conclusion: reassessing the source of authority. This reinterpretation of political and legal history presents a stark conclusion, that modern Western governments may not be sovereign in the constitutional sense but rather subsidiaries of a larger Vatican-led corporate structure, operated under color of law. The argument invites readers to reconsider widely accepted narratives about constitutional legitimacy, national governance, and the true meaning of terms like crown and citizen. It challenges individuals to look beyond the surface of law and question the origins of authority and allegiance.